Hi, this is Arthur Carmazzi, and I am coming to you live from the Experts MBA studio here in Avalon. If you are a trainer, a coach, or a consultant, this program is for you. And today we are going to be talking about, the three simple, basically personalized products that anybody can do in any amount of time, and it's going to be super easy, and you guys are going to be able to do this in less than 3 days, guaranteed, in order to start developing your personal income, your passive personal income. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the number one thing, and this is basically a set of checklists. Now, a checklist is like, why would I do, how can a checklist become a product? Well, here's the thing, if you have a set of checklists that is part of a system, then, you're not just selling the checklist, you're selling the whole system of how to create A to Z. So here's this problem. So let's say, for example, you're an expert in customer service, or maybe you're an expert in production management, or maybe you're an expert in leadership or culture change. So what you have is you already know various things to do. You already have this idea. Why? Because, you're an expert. You're consulting, or you're training, or you're speaking on it. And because of that, what happens is that you have this knowledge. All you need to do is actually put it down into checklists, say, so step number one. Now, let's look at the idea, Every client wants to have a problem solved, right? So, they're going to start over here, and they're going to want to end here. So maybe, let's say, for example, they're going to start with mediocre service, and they're going to want super awesome, incredibly fantastic, amazing service that their clients are going to just want to say, please let me buy more stuff. That's the goal, right? But maybe they're not there yet. So in order to get there, you're going to have multiple steps. It's not like suddenly you just do training and everything is perfect, right? I mean, it would be cool, but we know that that's not a reality. So there's going to be multiple steps. So the first thing that you got to do in order to develop this product is actually list out the multiple steps. And those multiple steps are going to each have other smaller steps inside. And that's where the gold mine is. That's the checklist. So step number one is, basically you have to be able to talk to your people, and you're going to be able to get them to really understand the product very well and what you sell and all of these different things, so that they know every little bit and piece about the product. Step number two, understand people, understand how to really connect with people on a personal basis. Step number three is going to be about, dealing with problems. And then step number four and step number five, and you've got these whole different areas that are important in order to go from A to the end result. And all of those little bits and pieces can have a checklist. And then you sell the set. And the set is valuable because it literally gives you a how-to every single step of the way. Now, here's the best part. In order to even get people interested, you can just give away one or two of these checklists and kind of show us, like, here's checklist number 3, free for you. And then maybe you can also here's checklist number 7. And people are going to go, oh, wow, this is really good stuff. Of course, give away your best checklist, right? Because the stuff that people don't know, because that's going to think, wow, there's so much of this stuff that I really don't know. So the first number one thing that you got to do is to create or a product that you can create in a day is basically a set system of checklist to achieve a specific end result. Number 2. So this is like the Your Name Minibook of X problem solving thing. So for example, this could be Arthur's Minibook on how to solve organizational culture problems. It's actually not that great, but something like that, right? So you come up with your own name that sounds super cool. Now, here's the thing. You are already solving problems. You're already going to these different clients and you're already speaking about this stuff, coaching this, you're consulting, you're training about this stuff. So you already have a set of problems that you are essentially supporting people and helping them to really make things work. So in that particular case, what we're going to be doing now is just writing them down. In one more day, you can actually write these things down. All you need to do is simply sit down, look at all of the different questions that your clients have asked you. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing culture change, customer service, project management, whatever it is for you, you have had people ask you tons of questions. And those are the questions that people want to know the answers to. Why? Well, because they asked you the questions. So go figure. Anyway, so you've got this whole thing where now you are all set. You've got all of these different little problems, and maybe if you can get 101, I mean, they're simple. Here's the problem, and a simple, 2-sentence answer of how to solve it. Or maybe you've got the 30 biggest problems or something like that, and maybe they're a little bit longer. Maybe each one is a paragraph. It's 30 paragraphs. I mean, you can sit down, you can write 30 paragraphs, okay? And you have a complete product. And then you take, again, problem number 14 and the solution to problem number 14, and you go and you give that away as a means of getting people interested to basically buy your product, okay? Now, number 3 is cards, okay? People love to play games, and there's all these different cards. So, for example, all of those of you that know about directive communication psychology, you probably know about the directive communication colored brain communication cards. And this is 54 cards. Now, okay, this one is requires printing and everything else, but you don't have to do that. And I'll show you something else. But this is very specifically designed pictures that elicit subconscious values, information, lost knowledge, things that you forgot, and basically helps to give you absolute clarity where you wouldn't normally have it simply by choosing certain cards related to a specific question. But you can also create something simple. So this, for example, is part of our gamification game. And each of these has one of our primary motivators that we talk about in this gamification game. And on the back, you have the solutions based on, with these little infographics on how to achieve those emotions or how to basically motivate people in a game environment. Now, these are basically printed on a color digital printer, which means you don't have to print thousands of them. You can print 10, or you can print them on demand. And you create some cards, again, that help people to play some kind of a game to solve problems, and you're creating a product that not only is creative, not only creates a desire to kind of connect with this product because it's different, but you're also showing that you are an innovator by using games and gamified products in your training or basically as part of your brand. So whenever you are able to really, show that you can create new ideas and solve problems in fun, different ways, that says something about you and it makes you more sought after. And of course, you kind of make videos about this, you show people playing games, and people say, wow, that's super cool. I want one. And you sell lots of stuff while you're sleeping, and this is simple. You can do this if you actually sat down, you could actually do this in one day. But let's just say 3 days maximum. You can actually go ahead, create these 3 products based on your expertise, your knowledge, your ideas, and that's the beginning of a system to help you create a passive income. Now, of course, there are other things that are going to be required specifically in the areas of the automated systems, and so that's a whole different thing that we're going to be talking about later on in this. But once you set this up, once you got those products, that's the beginning. And I hope that you found this very useful. This is Arthur Carmazzi wishing you great success.